Claire, thank you for being here today. We have two topics to cover today. The first one is health insurance. Students want to know which is better, GuardMe or MSP?
Very good question. GuardMe has some advantages. Initially, for your first semester, it's meant to be what you'd use in case there was an urgent situation that came up. So some of the challenges with GuardMe are that it doesn't cover you for any pre-existing conditions, and it doesn't cover you for the management of any chronic conditions, and it doesn't cover you for anything elective, meaning if you wanted to see a doctor just to be proactive about your health, GuardMe doesn't cover that. It just addresses any urgent issues that are new that come up since you've been living in BC. MSP is meant to be longer term, more sustainable insurance. There are some disadvantages to that one too. For example, there isn't any vision coverage. So if you did need to go for an eye exam, it would be better to use your GuardMe insurance during your first semester, or it doesn't cover any preventative dental care either. With the GuardMe plan, you do have up to $600 that you can use if you're having any pain in your teeth. So there's advantages and disadvantages to both, but ultimately MSP is designed to be long-term coverage. GuardMe is only meant to be used for your first semester as short-term coverage.
Thank you so much. How do I use my GuardMe?
If you were going to see a dentist or a doctor in a community clinic, you would pay first out of pocket, and then you'd keep the receipt that the dentist or the doctor gives you. You'd come home and you'd go online on the Columbia College GuardMe website, and you'd submit that receipt along with your policy information, and then GuardMe would reimburse you directly. Now, if it was an emergency and you had to go to the hospital, you could say to the hospital, I'm an international student, and you can ask them to send you an invoice after you've received treatment. And once you get home, you go back onto the GuardMe Columbia College website, submit that invoice, and then GuardMe would pay the hospital directly.
How do I use my MSP?
Once you've applied for MSP and received your BC Services MSP card, you can show that at any community clinic, any hospital, for any investigation, such as lab work that you might do or an x-ray. If you needed to call 911, you would give your MSP card to the paramedics that might come and take you to the hospital, and you don't have to pay anything over and above your monthly international student health fee.
Thank you. Our next topic is sleep hygiene. Our students want to know, how much sleep do I need?
Young people, teens and young adults, need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, ideally.
What should I do if I can't sleep?
If you're having trouble falling asleep, get up, get out of your bed and do something really boring, such as folding laundry or reading a textbook. Sometimes listening to a sleep meditation can help make you feel tired, but the idea is that you don't want to stay in bed worrying about how little sleep you're going to have and how tired you're going to feel the next day. Get up. If you haven't been able to fall asleep within 30 minutes of going to bed, get out of your bed, take a break, take a short break, and do something boring until you start to feel sleepy, and then go back to your bed and try again. You might need to do this a couple of times if you're really busy or if you're worried about something, because it is always better to leave the bed and then come back and get back into bed when you're feeling sleepy.
Thank you. How can I get a better night's sleep?
A few things you can do. Number one, try to go to bed and wake up at the same time. I know this is really difficult, but the best way to get out of that chronic insomnia pattern is to wake up at the same time every morning, go to bed at the same time every day, and then as soon as you wake up in the morning, expose yourself to light. So if it's not bright outside, if there isn't sunlight out when you wake up, turn all the lights on. If the sun is out, open the windows, open the curtains, go outside, get a bit of sunlight at the beginning of your day. This helps to set your circadian rhythm for the following 24 hours, and it will help to make sure that you start to feel sleepy when it gets dark. Now in the evening time, when the sun goes down, try to dim all the lights in the house and keep it darker. Another thing you can do is make sure your room is nice and cool. So keep the temperature low and sleep in something light and comfortable. Try to get curtains that make it really dark in your room for sleeping, and close those curtains when you go to bed. You want to avoid any caffeine, especially after about noon. A few other things you can do are make sure that you're going to bed not hungry or full. So if you need a snack before bed, go ahead and do that, but don't have a full 3-course meal. Avoid your screen. So stay off your computer, your laptop, or your phone or your TV about 40 minutes before you go to bed. Turn those devices off.
Thank you. Is there a sleeping pill that can help me sleep?
There are sleeping pills and sleeping aids out there. Most of the time, most people don't need to take sleeping pills if they can use other measures to set their sleep hygiene or their sleep pattern or their sleep habit. If they can set that up by following some of those strategies that we just talked about, it's always better to avoid sleeping pills. It's never a good idea to take sleeping pills, whether they're over the counter or off the shelf sleeping pills from a pharmacy, or prescription sleeping pills without talking to your doctor first. Sometimes you can try things like an herbal tea before bed that can help you start to feel tired, or taking certain supplements like melatonin or magnesium, but it's always best to ask your doctor first.
Thank you so much. That was our last question for this interview.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Stay off your computer, your laptop, or your phone or your TV about 40 minutes before you go to bed. Turn those devices off.